They would have been the most beautiful young women in the land if not for someone else, their younger sister. Her name was Psyche, and it means soul. It also means butterfly. Maybe that's what the soul is like, fragile, colorful, and beautiful like a butterfly. And maybe Psyche was so beautiful because people could see her soul in her face. I tried to write something that would give you an idea of how beautiful she was, but the letters of the alphabet got so confused and jumbled up, trying to arrange themselves into words to describe someone for whom there were no words, they ended up crying in frustration. I hate trying to make words out of letters that have been crying and are so wet they can't stay on the page. Later on in the story, after the letters dry off, I'll try again to arrange them into enough words so you'll have some idea of what Psyche looked like. For now, you'll just have to believe me when I say she was the most beautiful woman in the world. The people of the kingdom said Psyche had to be a goddess because she was even more beautiful than Venus, the goddess of love, who until now had been the most beautiful woman in creation. The news of Psyche's beauty spread all over the world. Soon, people came to see Psyche from everywhere. Rome, Romania, Lagos, Latvia, Moscow, Mississippi, Green Bay, Ghana, Paris, Poland, and Zurich, Zimbabwe. Every day around the time people's shadows snuck beneath their feet to get out of the sun, the tall wooden doors to the palace grounds swung open, and Psyche came out to take her daily walk. Men, women, children, and all the creatures stopped what they were doing to look at her. Birds flying by would see Psyche, stop flapping their wings, and fall to the ground. Ants would be toting crumbs which to them were as big as china. They could not see anything of Psyche except a 1/16 of an inch of her big toenail. But that was enough for them to be so overcome by her beauty that they dropped their crumbs and just stared. Psyche walked along the road that led from the palace to the outskirts of the largest village, which wasn't far, and then she walked back and the palace doors would close behind her. But for the rest of the day, not much got done in the kingdom because everybody and every creature was thinking about Psyche. Cows didn't make milk, sheep didn't grow wool, hens forgot to lay eggs, the butcher didn't slaughter animals. The baker's bread and cakes burned in the oven, and the candlestick maker was in too much of a daze to dip his wicks in tallow. Well, this was not good for the economy. The economy went into a recession, then a depression, and finally went into a cul-de-sac, which is different from a paper sack and a gunny sack and a sad sack, as well as a sack on the quarterback. The king had to do something or the economy was going to collapse. He thought the matter over and decided that if Psyche went for a walk only one afternoon each month, the economy would be all right. "I don't appreciate your deciding what I can do and when I can do it," Psyche told her father. "The economy is more important than your happiness," the king replied. That tells you right there what kind of king he was. Who in his right mind would make the economy more important than a person's well-being? But he was the king, and what he said was the way things had to be. He must have been asleep the day in kinging school when the teacher talked about the law of supply and demand. When the supply of something diminishes and the demand for it goes up, it is going to cost more. The king was about to pay a very high price because the demand to see Psyche was about to destroy the kingdom. The birds and the insects carried word of the king's decree to the farthest ends of the 4 directions, which happened to be 10,000 miles on the other side of next week. Everybody and everything